I'm sure lots of my longtime viewers squealed when they saw this in their sub boxes. What's up, everyone? Game Master 468 here, bringing you a bonus video of my original Toontown walkthrough. It's been quite a long time since we ventured into the world of Toontown. I quite honestly kind of retired from doing Toontown videos for quite some time. But Toontown Rewritten just dropped a pretty big update recently. They just revealed field offices, and you might be saying, well, Game Master, didn't you already show field offices in your original walkthrough? Well, yes and no. See, these field offices are a little bit different than the ones that you might remember from the original game, and I have thoroughly enjoyed this new edition of the game so much that it's convinced me to officially bring this walkthrough out of retirement for at least one video, just so I can cover this amazing update. So, I guess without any further delay, what do you say we just hop right in and check these things out? Alright, so here we are, back in Toontown, at long last. Alright, so we're making our way through as a cog building just falls from the sky and crushes that building. It's really sad and stuff, but, I mean, like, who really cares about that guy, am I right? Alright, so anyway, so you're not seeing any field offices just yet, but trust me, you will know when you are near a field office. In fact, you start seeing one any second now. Boom! Starts getting all dark and gloomy as we approach this. So something different you're going to notice right off the bat from the original is that these field offices take over Toon HQs instead of the normal Toon buildings all throughout the street. Which is pretty interesting if I do say so myself. We go on over here. And we already have someone waiting here, that's convenient. Just gonna say hi to this dude. Alright, so while this person's here, this is actually a good opportunity to show something new that they've added. Well, kinda sorta new. This thing. You might remember the boarding groups that you're quite familiar with in the game by now. Now you have this little drop-down arrow that will appear anytime you're near any sort of like elevator that takes you to like a building or a field office, a Cog HQ, any of those things. An arrow will now appear anytime you approach them, and then you can start a boarding group for that particular Cog thingamadoogie. Something that they changed about boarding groups in this update that I'm kinda about, to be honest, is, you know how originally you had, like, a little button at the bottom of the, boarding group list, where you can just teleport to whatever you're making the boarding group for? Well, they got rid of that. Now, once you make a boarding group, you have to actually enter the elevator that you're making the group for in order to actually start the thing. Which really makes me question what the heck the boarding group is even for, then? Like, why even have boarding groups at all if you just have to use the elevator anyway? It kind of removes, like, some of the conveniency that boarding groups offered. But the explanation that they gave for making this change is they want to encourage, like, level exploration a bit more in the Cog HQs. Which, I guess, from, like, a game design perspective, yeah, I kind of understand that. But, I don't know, it just felt like it's just, like, removing a convenient feature. And I'm not really a super big fan of that, to be honest. But, you know, it's not the first time they removed something that's, super inconvenient. Anyway, so we got a group together, so we can just head on straight inside this field office, so let's see what the heck these things have to offer, as it just stares into our soul while we enter the elevator. Alright, so Mr. Fancy Pants Man with this monocle here, that I can't seem to read the dialogue on, because Sony Vegas is weird like that. But he's telling us a new mechanic to the field offices. So, in the original, field offices were basically like, just extended cog buildings with minigames, and I guess in a way they still are, but in this version, we have this. As you can see, almost all of our gag tracks are completely grayed out, and we can only use a select few of them. Whenever you enter a cog building, you will randomly get the option of 3 different gag tracks. I believe it will pick either throw and squirt no matter what, just so that the field office isn't, like, impossible to do. But otherwise, the gag tracks that you have available at the start are completely randomized, and all the other ones are locked. Which I think is an awesome change. I think that this really, mixes things up with the battles and stuff. Normally, you would do things like, oh, let's just you used to pulling out the sounds, all the foghorns, and be like, oh, let's use these trucks, these foghorns, and just brrr, and do that, right? Nope, not this time around. Now you have to actually change up your strategy and use gag track strategies that you probably wouldn't use normally, which is really interesting and really mixes things up. I really like this change a lot. Now, you won't be locked out of these gag tracks for the entire field office. There is a way to get these gag tracks back, but that involves what we're going to be doing on the next floor of this field office. Which, speaking of that, we're just going to go ahead and spree through this fight right about now, so we can see what the next floor looks like. I know I just made a big boast about, like, oh, you gotta change your strategies, man, it's really cool. But otherwise, like, yeah, the cog fights are more or less the same, and I think we've seen enough cog battles throughout this entire walkthrough, so I'm just gonna, like, kind of gloss over the cog battles themselves so we can see some of the new and more interesting stuff. And speaking of which, let's head on up here, and let's see. I said, there we go. Alright, so we got a brand new area. Whoa, who turned up the AC? Cold callers are freezing assets in their office, including our next elevator. Skate near thermostats to turn up the heat. Cold callers will constantly try to cool the office back down. You can find snowballs inside the cabinets. Throw them at cogs by skating near them. Grab stolen jokes if you can. Before going to the elevator, you'll need to restore gag tracks for the next battle. And there is your objective. So, the joke pages are things that existed in the original field offices. You might remember them. But in the original field offices, they served, like, literally no purpose. Like, literally zero purpose. They're just kind of there. And you could just pick them up just because. I don't really get them. I'm guessing they were probably, like, they were gonna serve a purpose, but then Disney was like, no, no, no. And they just couldn't really put the full functionality. But here, now the joke pages do have a purpose. When you collect enough joke pages, which you get from defeating the cogs, as you can see, you will unlock a new gag track. Depending on what tier field office you're on, it'll require more pages to get more of the gag tracks. I believe it's about, like, maybe, like, 40 or so to get 2 gag tracks on this floor. The main idea is you want to get all of your gag tracks back by the time you get to the top floor of the field office. Anyway, so I'm kind of breezing through this, this minigame here, I'm sorry. There's a lot to take in here, as you can see. So, in this minigame, the area was frozen solid, but we've more or less kind of fixed it now. So, as the guy said, you want to skate by these thermostats in order to turn up the heat, and you need to do that before time runs out. While you're doing that, you can also skate by the cogs. You don't need to, like, push a button to throw the snowballs, like I thought you had to do at first, because I'm a dum-dum. But, you just need to skate near them, and then your toon will just throw the snowball on its own. And I believe they take, like, 2 hits to kill, and then when you kill them, or when you destroy them, rather, or whatever, they will leave some joke pages for you to collect. I would recommend focusing on the thermostats first, because the time frame can be kinda tight if you don't. So I recommend you focus on getting that thermometer meter to the right, over there, fully filled up first. And then, if you still have some time left, then you can focus on the cogs and get some of those joke pages. Which, as you can see, we've successfully did on both of them. We got the heat filled up, and we got 2 gag tracks. We got throw and tune-up back. Awesome. Alright, good job getting those jokes back. You got 50 joke pages. Now, you can use both throw and tune-up gags. Extra jokes for... whoopsie. This is your stop. The next battle is about to begin. Alright, we got another new room. I believe this is a room that we've actually seen before. I mean, we haven't seen it, like, in-game. But it's a room that's gone around a bunch. When talking about, like, cut content and stuff. So that's neat. Alright, so as you can see, we got our throw and tune-up gags back. Awesome. So that'll make things a little bit easier. And I say a little bit. I think one thing I will mention is that these can get a bit hectic. Like, these aren't like normal Cog battles. Well, I mean, they are normal Cog battles, but they're much more difficult than your typical Cog battle, mainly because these field offices can be really, really long. By the time you get to the end, you will be really low on gags. Normally, I think, I normally have, like, some tunes that are, like, that have some, like, gag up unites. So you can, like, restock your gags and stuff. I would recommend you have at least, like, a couple of those when you go in, because you will need all the gags that you can get to make it through to the end. I think I'd like briefly try to show it here in the next cut that's coming up. So you can see just how low on gags you truly are by the end of these. Let's take a look-see. Hey, Mr. Two-Face, how you doing? Oh, okay, first we gotta wait for him to strut on up slowly. Excuse me. Like, so there you go. As you can see, yeah, we're getting a little bit low there. So, yeah, you really need to conserve your gags on these. Conserving your gags is the aim of the game on these. So, yeah, a bit hectic. Even more so on the third and final battle that we'll be doing in a little bit. But first, yeah, we finished up this Cog Battle. Pretty smooth sailing, I think. I don't remember. It's been a while since I recorded this. I think it went well. But yeah, so that one... Another Cog Battle won, so let's head on to the elevator and we'll head into the next minigame. See what this one has to offer. Man, really long elevator rides in here. What a seismic shock! Our next elevator will never work while these mega movers are moving and shaking this office. Grab water balloons and water coolers to throw at Cogs. Defeat all the mega movers to open the exit. Cogs will drop stolen jokes when defeated, but I'm sure you already knew that, you plebeian. Yeah, I don't know. He just kind of has that vibe with this character. I don't know. Anyway, so this minigame we have seen before. You guys probably remember this from the original Toontown game. Except now we're going to be looking at it not in slideshow format this time. Unlike in the original walkthrough. Jeez Louise. So yeah, like the guy said, you just want to go over and get the water balloons, and you want to throw them at the mega movers to clear them out. I think one thing that is different from the original game is I think the mega movers now take one extra hit to kill in this version. In the original Toontown and Toontown Online, they took about 2 hits to kill, but now they take 3, so they are a little bit more difficult than they were in the original, but otherwise this minigame is more or less the same as the one from the original game. And yeah, like I said before, yeah, now the jokes actually have a purpose now, so there's also that, so... Alright, so you just want to go around, clear out all the mover and shakers. You can see them in the mini-map over there. The mini-map will only open up as you actually explore the maze-like area around. But yeah, otherwise you can see them down there. They're little giant red splotches, or whatever they are. Those telemarkers are a nuisance. They move really fast. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. So yeah, so the tiny cogs will drop 2 joke pages, and the mega movers will drop 5. So keep that in mind. Alright, we got both gag tracks back already. Sweet. kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Unlike the ice skating one, the timing on this one's not as tight, so you can focus on both if you want to. So, yeah, but it looks like we did it successfully already. So that's neat. So we'll just go ahead and cut it to when we're done collecting joke pages, because we got some time left, so we thought, why not? But typically, like, I think we got all our gag tracks back by this point. So that's not really necessary anymore. But yeah, so there we go. We got all our gag tracks back, and we beat both of the minigames. There's 2 minigames on each field office. We just did both of them. And the order that the minigames will play will be randomized every time you play. But one thing that isn't randomized is this final floor. Yes, we got sound and trap gags you recovered. Amazing. Our signal is breaking up. This is as far as I can go. I don't know. Oh, hello. Welcome to Toontown Rewritten's brand new boss fight! Alright, we got the Boiler, the boss that you'll fight at the end of every field office. To start out, like I said before, I would recommend you use some gag ups at this point so you can restock your gags. Alright, so we're gonna start by just going all in with birthday cakes and just start throwing it at the Boiler. As you can see, it removes the health pretty quickly, but something you're gonna notice, pretty quickly, me using the word quickly and twice in the same sentence, some good grammar, but the Boiler actually has multiple health bars. He has about 4 health bars in all, and each one takes longer to deplete than the last. So that's why I recommend you, restock your gags, so you can get all the strongest gags restocked, and you can just go all in on the Boiler. This guy right here is wanting to use sound. That seems to be the strategy that a lot of people like to use, is to just use sound. When these guys show up, as you can see, he's got reinforcements in here. So you want to use the sound strategy to get the normal cogs out of the way and the Boiler. But personally, I think it's more worth it to go all in on the Boiler as soon as possible. Because when you defeat the Boiler, all the cogs around him will be destroyed anyway. So I don't think there's really much of a purpose on focusing on the smaller cogs. Unless he's in this one round that we'll be looking at in a little bit. But otherwise, you just kind of want to... I think it's a better idea to just ignore the small cogs and just focus on the Boiler himself. Since the smaller cogs will be destroyed at the end anyway. But I mean, whatever. I mean, the sound strategy works also. Like, it's not like a bad strategy. I just prefer to do like the go all in and just hit him with the cakes and get the health down as far as possible. I think that's I think it's more worth the effort, if you ask me. But you know, sound works too. Either or. Anyway, that strategy didn't work as great as you can see. But normally it does work better. It's ouchies. Alright, so we got this. We got Fired Up. So I believe what this does is it makes the Boiler's attacks more powerful and does more damage. So that's bad, but that's not the phase that you want to look out for. And speaking of which, as you can see, below the... well, it's gone now, but below the Boiler's health bar, there was like a little number there that said 3. That's how many rounds that this Fired Up phase will last. And the same will work with the other phase that he's gonna do in a little bit. That's actually something new that they've added. I don't think I've mentioned that yet. There's little, like, status things on the cogs now. Now if you, like, do, like, if you lure a cog, it will show you how many turns that lure will last now above the cog's head. So that's pretty neat. That was not something that was in the original before. That's something that they added just for this, basically. So that's pretty cool. So anyway, so the Boiler should be on 2 rounds now. Smack, smack, smack. Alright, as you can see. Oh, we did finish. There we go. 2 health bars down. And he's just gonna kind of just blankly stare at us as he vomits up the fire. Wait. Look at me doing these slick moves. Look, I'm even saying it. You see these slick moves? Yeah, man, it's pretty slick. Captain Cranky Foot's got the moves. He knows what's up. He's taking dance classes. He's, he really knows how to get jiggy with it. No one says get jiggy with it. Anyway, alright. Under pressure. Whoa. Alright, so we got this. Here we go. So this is his second phase, his defensive strategy. So, when he's doing this, you don't want to attack the boiler. This is where attacking the cogs is actually more beneficial. You want to just avoid attacking the boiler as long as humanly possible. Because if you hit him while he's in this phase, not only will it not do as much damage, but it will also cause him to do even more damage to you. It can go up to like 80 damage, depending on like what tier field office you're in. So, yeah, don't hit him when he's in the defensive strategy. That's a big no-no. So when he's doing this, just focus on the other cogs around him until he's out of this phase. And much like the boiler phase, you can see how many turns it's gonna last on the number below his health bar. But until then, yeah, we're just gonna kind of focus on the cogs for a little bit. You see, it's going pretty good. I think he will keep summoning cogs, like, infinitely until he's out of this phase. I believe that's how it works. Correct me if I'm wrong. Also, yeah, he can do this now. I completely forgot. Okay, so he can also do things to the cogs. He has this move, which is called Promoted, which will... He seems to mostly do it on cogs that you haven't hurt yet, but I think I have seen him do it on cogs that he has hurt. He will level up the cogs and make them higher level. That should be self-explanatory. So, yeah, and he can do that, like, a bunch of times, so that's another reason you want to get rid of the cogs as soon as possible, because you don't want to be dealing with, like, a level 18 all of a sudden, which, yeah, they can go up to level 18 now. I think they can go up to, like, level 20 now. So, yeah, you want to get rid of those. And then he also has this move, which will just heal the cogs. But I don't know why he's doing it on this guy, because he's already got full health. So, I mean, I don't know, I guess I guess he's healing them with money, and I mean, who doesn't like money, I guess. So, but, yeah, so he has that, he will heal the cogs around him, and he's got one more. Actually, no, I'm sorry, he's got two more things that he can do to the cogs around him. One of them I don't think he does in, this field office that we're seeing. But he has another move that, like, basically makes the cogs' attacks more accurate. It will, make their accuracy higher. It's like a presentation thing that he does, make the attacks, more accurate for the cogs when they're not lured, of course. So there's that, and then there is one more he does, but that one I'll wait until he actually does, because he does do it, in this footage that we're seeing. And I think he's going to be out of the defensive strategy, in a second. Man, this guy, this cold caller, he's having the time of his life right now. He's just rolling in that dough. Alright, leveling them up again, and I think now he's gonna come out of it. There he goes, fired up. Alright. So now we can focus on the boiler again and just go all in. I think they're gonna use the sound strategy for this, to get rid of the remaining cogs. There we go. Alright. So we're not going to be seeing any more cogs for a little while, until the next defensive strategy, I believe. Ah, yes, you can do this now. Alright, so you can also suck up your gags. They don't deplete your gags, but it does make you unable to use that gag track for a little while. As you can see, we can see the number of turns above the Toon's heads on how long that will last. So yeah, that's another thing you can do. That's mildly inconvenient, and can definitely mess you up. Alright, we're down to the last health bar. We're doing good. Oof, we got this. Slow burn. This attack will do lingering damage over time. Each round, you'll take a little bit more damage. Again, you can see how many turns that attack will last. So at least for 2 more turns, we're going to be taking damage from that slow burn. And very jerkishly, I have had a couple of field offices where we will get straight up to the end. Like, the boiler is in his death animation, and all the cogs around him are completely destroyed, and we have won, and we're seconds away from the status screen. And then the slow burn attack hits us when we're at 2 left, and then we die right as the status screen comes up. So you can get right to the end of the field office, complete it, defeat the boss and everything, and still lose at the last second, if you're not careful. So definitely make sure you're high on laugh when this attack is going on, because you do not want that to happen. That is... I've seen that at least twice, and it is heartbreaking, to say the least, when that happens. So, yeah. Anyway, back to this again. We're back to the defensive strategy. We're gonna lure the cogs. I believe on this round we're gonna see him do the unlure thing. In a second, after we do all of these. Yeah, we're gonna fire this guy. You're fired, you jerk! You jerkwad. Oh yeah, I got confused here, because I thought that he was firing the Two-Face to the left. But then it wound up attacking the opposite one. But I think I was just, like, seeing weird things, and that was, like, not at all what was happening. So, yeah, I don't know. My eyes were deceiving me, I guess. Get out of here. Oh, that didn't kill him. Oh. Well. That's just how it be sometimes. Yeah, gonna promote these guys. Oh, just promote him, because he's not damaged. Ouchie. Yeah, that's still going on. I think that's the last turn that's happening now. Oh yeah, they can sometimes come out of the elevator too. I forgot about that. Yeah. I mean, would you want it any other way? Doop. I was gonna say we should 2 it up, and then this guy kind of already got on it. Thanks, Mr. Crocodile Man. Oh yeah, there's new Toon species. Man, there's like a lot of new things that came up since this video was made. Yeah, there's like some new Toon species now. There's like a whole new private server. Corporate Clash is a thing now. It's pretty sweet. It's like a completely ground-up remake of the game. It's pretty neat. Man, lots of new things. I've been out of the loop. I mean, I've been in the loop. I've seen things happen still. I just haven't done videos on them. Like, alright, got that guy out of the way. I think it's gonna be out of... Oh, here we go. This thing. So yeah, this can happen. You can unlure the cogs, and that's a really jerkish thing that you can do. You can do that multiple times per battle, by the way. That's always a fun time. I think he does it more depending on what tier field office you're in. But I could be wrong about that. I know one field office he did it like 3 times in one battle. And it was really annoying. Alright, is he gonna be fired up in a second? Nope, not quite. We're at 1. Okay, so after this, he'll be out of the defensive phase. And then we should be able to finish him off. Oh, he's gonna do this. Cool, cool, cool. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You gonna do that? Okay, fine. Probably should have, like, done something else, but whatever. Whoop, here we go. There we go. say ya, you weirdo Mingler mans. It's the Mingler crew, guys. We got Mingler, Mingler, and Mingler. Oh, and Glad Handler. Then the odd one out. Oh no! The trap, all of our cares. Alright, fire it up, alright. So we're gonna finish him off this round. Here we go. Alright. This guy's gonna wedding cake, and I think I'm gonna join in. Yep, here we go. Wedding cake. See ya! And I don't think... Yeah, that doesn't quite kill him yet, but we're close. One more attack ought to do it. Oh, wait. Maybe now? Now is he dead? No, not quite. He's got like a centimeter of health left. Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise. And he really loves that attack too, I noticed. My gosh. His poor Toon and his poor Toon face. YOLO, right? No one says YOLO anymore. Anyway. Alright, now he's done. So there we go! That is how you defeat the Boiler, the first new boss fight that Toontown Rewritten has had in ages. In fact, I think it's the only new boss battle that Toontown Rewritten has had. So yeah, there we go, guys. That's what a field office looks like in Toontown Rewritten. It's super awesome. Definitely, by far, the best thing that this game has added in ages. I love these. Super awesome stuff. I love how they make you change up your strategies in the early sections. I love the little new mini games. Now the jokes actually have purpose now. The boss fight is super awesome. Overall, great addition. Really love these. Alrighty. So when you complete a field office, the field office itself actually doesn't fall right away. Well, actually, first thing, I'm getting ahead of myself. When you complete a field office, much like when you complete any other Cog boss, the Toon that was talking to us this whole time is gonna pop out and give us a reward. And here he is! Phew! I knew you could do it! I mean, I didn't, but it's nice to be supportive every once in a while. You've extinguished the Boiler's fiery grip over the annex? I don't know how you say that. With parts from the Boiler, I can make a few Cog Remote controls. Here, take 1-star healing remote as thanks for the Toon resistance. There are more annexes to defeat before we can save Toon HQ, but you deserve a rest. The Toon Resistance would always be happy to enlist your help. Thank you, Captain Cranky Fuzzy Snooker. Thank you, weird monocle... Why do you have an anvil on your head? I just noticed that. Jeez. Okay, anyway, so as I was saying, so now, okay, so what I was saying before, was when you defeat a field office, as you can see, the field office doesn't fall right away. Because we have this. So each time you defeat a field office, one of these annexes will go down. I'm not sure what an annex is, but it will go down when you complete a field office. And it doesn't matter how many toons go into it. It can be 1 toon or 4 toons. No matter the group size, it will always go down by 1 no matter what. And only when it goes down to 0 will the field office fall completely. Obviously, it didn't happen in this round. But luckily, I did manage to capture some footage of the field office falling down while I was out doing some tasks. Here's what that looks like. So that's fun. Anyway, so before we end this video, let's take a little look at those rewards that the field offices give you. So like the guy said, you can have these remotes now. As you can see, we have a new menu now for these rewards that you get for the flyers and the, the SOS cars and the doodles that only work 10% of the time. We got a slot here for all the remotes that you get for the field offices. And you can see we have 2 different types. We have damage remotes and healing remotes. And as you can see, there's 3 different tiers. Depending on what tier field office that you get. We got the 1-star, 2-star, and 3-star. I I believe, like, it will, like, do more damage or heal you more, depending on which star you get. That is a guess. I'm not really sure. From what I could see, they seem to do, like, basically, like, somewhat the same amount, depending on what you get. But regardless, let's actually see what they look like. We conveniently had a one-story cog building right here, so we can experiment with these remotes and see what they do. Alright, so let's head on over to this, oh, well, yeah, let's lure the cog first, so that we don't get smacked in the face as we test this. Alright, it's got a brand new button here for the reward system. We've got our SS cards and the doodle and all that stuff. Alright, so first let's check out the healing remote. And we're gonna use it on this guy. Here we go. Alright, so when you use the healing remote, it will damage the cog over time for a few turns. Alright, so here we go. To heal, it will do a little dance like this. Boom. Excellent. Alright, so that's what the healing one does. Now let's check out the damage remote. Alright, let's use this one, and we're gonna use it on this guy. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. Yeah. And it will damage the cog, like I said, over time, because it's doing wacky, goofy tune things that cogs don't normally do. Alright, so to defeat, or to do damage to all the cogs around him, he will tell jokes. Really, really bad jokes, but jokes nonetheless. And it will damage the cogs, because, you know, cogs don't do any of that joking nonsense. That ain't cool. Alright, and as you can see, it just lasts for a few turns. So you can, like, just, like, use a remote on the cog and it'll just heal you for a few turns, and you won't have to worry about, like, tuning up and stuff on your own for a little bit. So that's pretty neat. Alright, let's get this guy out of the way. And then I believe at this point, like, the cogs will just do themselves in at this point. Because of how low on health they are. So this guy's gonna tell another joke. Boop 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 boop. And that will do this cog in. There we go. Get out of here, you pushover. Yeah, you get it. Anyway. Alright, and then rather than attacking, I'm just gonna pass and just let it do its thing. There we go, didn't even get to do another joke that time. Alright, so that's what the tune remotes do. So that's pretty neat. You have a finite amount of them. So if you want more remotes, you have to do more field offices to get more. But yeah, there we go. That is the field office update of Toontown Rewritten. Like I said, I really enjoyed this update. I know that there's more to this update than just the field offices. I know there's like the resistance stuff and the hideout and all those things. But to get to those, you have to beat the normal task line of the normal game first. And I've not done that yet. I am somewhat close, so I'm not saying I'll never do it. I don't think I will do any videos on it, though, because it's still, from my understanding, it's more of the same of what I just showed here, where you just do, like, field offices and battle cogs and stuff. So, I don't think I'm going to be doing a video on that part of the update. As for the future of Toontown videos later down the line, this might be the last one that I do for a while. Like I said, this is more like an exception that I wanted to make to cover this really cool update, because I really enjoyed it. But past this, I don't see myself, like, doing, like, any more, like, Toontown walkthrough stuff for a good long while. Like, I know some people ask me if I'm gonna do, like, Corporate Clash and stuff, and the answer is, like, no. Maybe, like, a one-off video, but definitely not any, like, walkthrough stuff. I'm kind of over doing, like, walkthroughs of, like, you know, online game things and stuff like that. They just kind of take too much of my time, so yeah, probably not going to do anything like that. But say Toontown Rewritten does another update like this, or they, like, maybe do, like, a Sellbot Field Office, or a new boss, like another update that shows off, that introduces a new feature and stuff. I wouldn't mind occasionally bringing this walkthrough back to cover those every now and again. So, yeah, maybe, who knows, if Toontown Rewritten does another cool update like this one, maybe I'll bring it back again and do a video on those. But until then, that is about it, guys. That's the end of this bonus video of my Toontown walkthrough. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think of this update in the comments below. Do you like the field offices? Do you not? Why do you not? Let me know in the comments below. And with that said, that's about it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. See you then, everyone.